What's up guys, Anders here with another video. Today we're going to go over the update for the week as well as winter season and class reboot that started today as well in global regions on PC. There is a lot of content to get through, so let's start with winter season. So winter season is a special server option in-game that allows new players or returning players to accelerate their gear progression massively. The resources and gear enhancements are much easier than normal gear, and now once you finish your season, so to speak, you can then progress on normal servers with a new path to guarantee your weapons and armors to pen, the highest enhancement level available in the game. That is the basic gist of seasons. That's why season exists. You create a special season character which you can play on season channels for the duration of the winter season. We will be able to graduate or finish our season early if you want in the coming weeks, but if you want to take your time, our season will be ending March the 2nd. So you have a lot of time to take advantage of season perks if you're new or you're returning and have no gear and just want to grind as much as possible. Now, I have a couple of season guides on my channel that go into the more specifics of how to progress through seasons, the most recent one being the Season Plus guide that is still very much relevant. The only thing I want to add is a recommendation to you guys starting out on season servers for the first time, or maybe you're a returning player and are unsure of what class to want to choose for season. Now, I have a new class guide coming out very soon with a tier list of all the classes, but I'll tell you my top 3 season classes for those just starting out in the game, and hopefully that will give you enough of an edge and help you progress a little bit faster than normal. So of the many classes and specs that we have, I would advise you to select Guardian Awakening, Striker Succession, or Lawn Succession as your class choices. These are very strong PvE grinder classes that are going to continue to excel even after season ends for you and your armors and weapons begin to go past that season limit. Now, as for grind spots, you'll want to be focusing on Sulfur Mines in Valencia. It's very good money for what is needed to grind there. Star's End and Calfian is a little bit harder to grind, but really good money as well. And if you're more advanced, Viragi Den or Altar Imps is also good in Elvia for the season gear available to you. Now, before we move on from the winter season, I also want to give you some advice on the season pass and season graduation reward. Now, the season pass is a premium element. It's optional. That is pretty decent actually for the price what you get, but again, it's not necessary if you're new. It can help you give some additional income, but again, absolutely not necessary. The season graduation reward, however, this one's a little tricky. You're gonna have a few options, especially if you're starting the game now, because we've had so many seasons now. The current winter season reward is not currently available to us. We don't know what it is. Even knowing what it may be, you want to look for the Pen Kaposha necklace or the Pen Kaposha belt as your first reward from seasons. Now, these items are equivalent to Tet Yellow accessories that are worth 5 to 7 billion silver depending on your server, so it is a nice boost to your gear once you graduate. Absolutely go for those. That's all I got for winter season stuff. Remember to check out the Season Plus guide I've made on my channel to get into the smaller details of season, and hopefully you guys have as much fun as I'll be having through season for the next few months. Now, class reboots, the next major update that we have today. So 17, well, I guess 18 classes got reboots. There were also some changes to Guardian, Nova Sage, and Hash, which I'm going to go over after I talk about the class reboots. So mostly buffs, though Nova did get a nerf to her Excel SA being moved to her E-buff now. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, as for the reboots, we're basically looking at mostly buffs across the board. If you're coming back, you may have noticed some slight nerfs to some class passives, the way your class works. It's not the end of the world. In my opinion, the problem is in the name of this whole change, the rework or the reboot of these classes. It's not really a rework or a reboot. These are more balanced changes than anything. Your class identity, at least for the most classes, will not change. Some classes got much needed help. Others got a lot of intricate changes with new skills, additional help no one really asked for. And other classes got some weird and unexplainable changes that, you know, they're not bad, but they don't really address the core issue of that class. Now, if you're a PvE only player, then most of these reboots will be a good way for you to change your grind up. We also have the event now starting with a 1 Marnie Fuel tag event, so you can copy your gear from your main class to any other class for basically free. Before, it would have cost you maybe a couple of billion silver to do that, so not bad at all. Take advantage of that. This is the best time to test out different classes where you normally grind. For PvP, it actually also allows you to see how much better or worse the reboot classes have become in dueling or RBF, or if you do Node Wars, that as well. It's too early, I think, to call the meta classes, but I put my money on Berserker, maybe being the runaway class in need of a second look from just the way things are shaping up. We'll see how the larger scale PvP meta shapes up over the coming weeks, but Berserker seems pretty strong right now. For me personally, I've had some experience playing the rebooted classes in Korea, test server as well, but I still want to try Sork Awakening, Striker Awakening, and Timber Succession because that whole riding Highline gimmick, it seems weird. I want to see if it's actually viable. We'll see how that goes. We also have changes to resistance in PvP, so that's now an 80% modifier cap instead of 60, which doesn't really change a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. If you're not a fan of resistance being a factor in PvP, then it won't really change how you feel. If you're a new player, you don't know what resistance is, it's just sort of like an RNG aspect to combat, which no one likes. Blocks now are stronger if you have a Q block, but are weaker on S block, and if your block breaks, you won't actually have that frontal guard for a few seconds, so you can't just press S block forever. You can't even use frontal guard skills. The frontal guard won't be there. All grabs are now on a longer cooldown, so that got nerfed, but they all now have super armor and success. Slows and speed buffs now have a cap as well, so slows can only slow you up to 50% below your normal level. So if you start at 100%, you can go all the way down to minus 50%. However, if you have buffs that increase your movement speed and attack speed, which most people do, you can still be slowed by above 50%, you know? So you're at 120%, someone slows you for 70%, you'll still hit that minus 50% stack. And for buffs, you can only go up to 250%. Now, summon AP also changed, so pet summons, that now scales with your bonus AP, which is a significant amount of damage you've now gained if you're a class with any sort of summon attack. Knockback is now a 0.7 value CC, just like stiffness. That opens up the door for a lot more combos if you have a knockback CC. This is pretty nice for Archer. We could also now see class to class damage ratios in-game through the adventure guide. So if you want to see how much damage you're dealing to any other class, you can now see that in-game, and if they ever change it, you can see the changes in the future within the adventure guide in-game. That's a really good change. Elevation no hit has been improved, so you can now hit targets below you or above you. This is mostly for ranged attacks that had issues with elevation that would just not hit and do no damage. For specific class reworks, I mean, I have videos on most classes. The non-reboot classes also received some balance changes, which again makes me think, you know, we could have just called this the season of balance changes or instead of reboot or rework, but you know, whatever. In terms of non-reboot classes, I'll start with Guardian. She now deals more damage in Awakening on some skills. Also, some pre-awakened skills got some damage increases and some better smoothing links, but I wouldn't call any of those changes significant. Guardian's just going to still play the same. Guardian Succession, still waiting for those buffs one day, maybe. Who knows? Hashashin is a whole different story. Lost their accuracy passive buff, so that's a bit of a nerf, but they gained more evasion passive and AP, and they also received some more damage to Dune Slash. Dune Strike is now a no cooldown skill with down smash and airstrike modifier. Collapse now has evasion debuff. Dune Strike no longer has it. Ensnaring Sands now debuffs attack speed as well as movement speed. The recall now gives iframe into SA when you use the recall function. Silent Breach no longer CCs in PvP, but now has a frontal guard. Serpent's Coil now has increased evasion effect and does not consume stamina. Veracity now deals more damage and activates faster. Crown Kick no longer CCs, but now increases attack speed when using that skill and deals more damage. Retribution deals more damage. The Hashashin E-buff received 20 AP and 15% crit damage added. And Blades Pack, the E-buff in Succession, now has 30% crit rate for 30 seconds. Overall, some nice changes for Hashashin. Nova, however, Nova Succession Pawn now deals less damage to compensate for the additional AP bonus that I talked about with the summons. Their passive now gives 8 more DP and 100 more HP. In Awakening, Nova, like I said, the SA is gone from the Excel and is now on the E-buff. Frozen Ring now does more damage and has a minus 10 DP debuff. Brutal Ring now deals more damage and has a lower cooldown. PvP damage on that skill was adjusted down. Combust Life now recovers half the star's breath and HP it used to. Now, Sage loses 5% accuracy buff from their passives as well as the special attack damage, and instead gains 5% cast speed. I wouldn't be happy with that trade. It received damage nerfs in PvE to Form Shift, Outdoors Fist, Rift Storm, and Illusion expansion in both Succession and Absolute versions of those skills. Succession had their Overdrive passive effect reset instead of their E-buff, which is a big oof. That's a big nerf. In Awakening, Sage received nerfs to PvP damage for Aftershock and Annihilation. Finally, Corsair gained 2 AP from her passive change, 6% evasion, and lost the crit damage. Mareka skills now only have iframe iframe when you're underground and have had their cooldowns reduced slightly. The Succession Mermaid skills now deal more damage in PvE, and her Awakening now deals less damage with her summons to compensate for the added AP bonus that they get. So out of these non-rework classes, I think Hashashin came out pretty golden compared to the others. As for events, we have a charity event for Doctors Without Borders. That's a really good cause. I like to see that. Winter Dice Board is here as well. You can choose one of two dice. The small die has 1 to 3 and will triple your rewards if you land on a snowflake tile, and the large die has 4 to 6 and will double your rewards if you land on a snowflake tile. The round rewards are really good too. I love the design of the board personally, and I'm glad they're making this a sort of reoccurring event. We saw it in Halloween, now we saw it for winter. Hopefully we continue seeing this kind of stuff. Igor Bartali in Velia now plays Yar and is apparently pretty bad at it, so it's a good place to learn the game if you're new to the game. Yar is a no reward, purely for fun minigame that is actually pretty good if you're a new player. Check it out. You can duel NPCs in Velia or your friends. I highly recommend you actually try this. Even though there are no rewards, it's pretty fun, and if you're on EU, you can actually send me an invite. Family name is Anders, and I'll be happy to duel you if I'm around. Now, pets have the percentages of skills able to be learned when you exchange them. There really is no way to influence the percentages, but at least it shows us what we already knew. Karma Recovery is basically the caution of the pet skills. We also have a 500% XP event, winter season level up rewards, new player level up rewards, Mysterious Night event for more skill XP bonus, and a brand new outfit for all classes. Berserker also has the Ulfhedna outfit, which looks amazing. If you weren't aware, Ulfhedna is from Norse mythology and also is in The Witcher. It's a sort of werewolf, so maybe it's a cheeky way of saying the designer is a Witcher fan or a fan of Norse mythology. I don't know, you let me know. Sugar Rush is also available for all classes, but the underwear is only for females, not shy of course, and is sold separately. I have a Sugar Rush outfit giveaway on my Discord running for the next few days, so be sure to check that out after this video. And that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Are you guys excited to play on winter season? Let me know which class you'll be choosing in the comments, and let me know what you guys think about today's video over on our community Discord. We're now public on Discord Discovery, so you can follow the link or search for Anders on Discord to join up and say hello. If you want to support the videos I make in small donations, you can follow the Ko-fi link below and buy me a cup of coffee. I love coffee as much as I love bells, so every coffee you buy me will be greatly appreciated, and will of course come with some Discord perks like premium channels and voice chat and streams. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon to get notified when I upload my next video. Remember, bell is good. As always, guys, thanks again for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.